Welcome to Southwest Yard and Garden. I'm Curtis Smith, and we've returned to Gallup to Sid Gilson's garden where there's some interesting things to look at, especially the way he irrigates. He's collecting rainwater, and Sid, you've got an interesting system here.
Yes, this is a 1,000-gallon tank that we've bought at the local hardware store, and we collect all the rainwater from our gutters coming down into this system. This again, in Gallup, we have an average rainfall of 10 to 7 inches of moisture a year, and that'll be about 7,500 gallons of water year-round. With this 1,000-gallon tanks, it's connected to the 210-gallon tank, and then we have some 50-gallon tanks to the side. So when this gets full, we fill these up, and this is our storage.
And you don't get all of that rain, 7,500 gallons at one time, so you have time to use it, so you don't need too much storage.
Not too much, but I wish we had more. If I could do it over again, I'd have two 1,000-gallon tanks, and I think that would be adequate, because we do get our up to 350, 400 gallons in one good monsoonal rain.
It's a lot of water. And the amount that you get is not enough to grow a garden, but it sure is supplemental.
Yes. We use it in the garden to help neutralize some of the calcium and the acid that we have,
the salinity that you're going to get.
That we have in our natural water, and it does real well. It gives the plants a boost.
Right, and so this really is helpful. Rainwater is good water to use, especially here in the arid Southwest where we've got salty waters. It's an interesting system, and down here you've got the valving. It carries it out underground into the garden to a manifold system you've got out there, so you can choose which water source you're using in the garden.
Right, we have it connected, and also we have here a siphon system. We have our big rains, and when, like here, we've got about 150 gallons here that I could fill up. But if we had a 350-gallon rain, it would overflow and make a big mess. So we've devised a siphon system that's hooked up to the valve here. The water comes up, and it siphons out into the garden during the rain. So I've got this on a rope, and I can adjust the height of this to any height I want. So if we had it here, the rainwater would fill up, then it would start to siphon, and hopefully it wouldn't overflow the tank. And then if I want to drain the tank again, I can put it down. But this is a real handy thing. And what we've also done is added some holes at the top with this, that I can screw this on, drill little holes.
So holes are in the side of the threads?
Yes, in the side of the thread, so it's an airlock. So otherwise, if it wasn't air in there, it would siphon everything out and it would drain the whole tank.
So by allowing that area in, it's only going to siphon a certain amount. Anything over whatever level that's set at.
That's right.
That's a good, simple system, but it's really novel. Okay, so you've got that. You get a lot of winter moisture too, though. What do you do in the winter to keep this from freezing and breaking the tank?
Yes, we do. Well, what we've done is got a 4-inch pipe, put an elbow on it, and you can see the black connector. I take this portion off, connect this to the gutter system, and then down below we hook it in, and it drains off naturally into an underground pit. So all winter, the snow and the ice and that water goes into the underground pit where it doesn't freeze up. And then I drain this thoroughly in late fall so it won't freeze.
So it won't freeze. So you protect your tanks that way. And now you're protecting your foundation. Water against a foundation in a split-level house like yours, it's not good around the foundation. So you're taking the water away from the foundation. You've got a French drain dug all around your foundation to carry the water off into the pit.
Yes, our footing is sitting on clay, so I had to get that water off. So I developed this pit, a gravel pit with a culvert in it, and French drain, and moved all that water into that pit where it stays and drains down, and then I can use it for other reasons too. And when I have it full up to the level of my footings, my foundation, I put it out in front in my xeriscape.
So it's double duty. It is used in the landscape, but it also protects the foundation.
Correct.
Let's go look at that pit.
Okay, very good.
Ooh, this is a deep pit, and I do see water down there.
Yes, it's 8 feet deep, 4 feet into solid clay, and then the water from the footings drain in.
Okay, and then from here, you'll use it to water the landscape in front.
Yes, Pump it out with an electric pump and then hose it up to the xeriscape in the front.
And you've got a different system for the garden, so let's go take a look at that one.
Very good.
So this is your valving system so that you can supply the garden with water from different sources.
Yes, that's right. It'll take the hose from the house and comes in and it charges up the system. Then I've got a line here that goes to feed the main garden. I've got a line here that connects to the tank so I can empty my rainwater tank in, and then this is a hose that goes to water my garden on the side.
So the vegetable garden or the flower garden. And you've got a system to keep this from freezing as well.
Yes, in the bottom I've put a little drain valve so I can drain all these valves out and they won't freeze in the wintertime.
Okay, then it goes from here up into this system.
Yes, and then it comes up through this green hose and then into this white pipe that charges the whole system. Then I can turn this valve on and off, on or off, to charge the different lines. In this case, we're talking about the tomato, so I can do the tomatoes and the squash. And then if I want to just do one line, I take my plug, insert that plug, and now all I'm doing is charging this one row. And of course, I take it off and put it back.
Well, Sid, this is a very flexible system. It does a lot of things. We'll be back in just a moment to see more of it.